Gringo is not a bad word, okay? Just wanted to clear that out of the way before I start. Hola mi gente y bienvenidos a Spring Spanish. Yo soy Paulísima, I am Paulísima, and I am one of the Spanish teachers at Spring Spanish. En este video vas a aprender the top 5 mistakes that are ruining your Spanish game and making you sound like a gringo.
Whoa, I don't know no Spanish. Dos reina.
So if you don't want those mistakes to ruin all the effort that you have put into learning Spanish to be ruined by these mistakes that are actually super easy to fix, te va a encantar este video. Empecemos. Número 1. La pronunciación de la O y la H. The pronunciation of letter O and letter H. You want to keep your O's short, so you want to keep them like O, just O, okay? And your H silent. So we say, bienvenido al hotel, amigo. Bienvenido al hotel, amigo. Not bienvenido al hotel, amigo. I am laughing with you, okay? Nunca, nunca de ti, my dear gringo. Gringo? Is it gringo or gringo? Gringo, okay? That's the right way to say it. Gringo. Remember, O's are short. You may want to refresh your knowledge on the Spanish alphabet and the vowels. So for that, you might want to check out our free Spanish course that we have here in el canal de YouTube de Spring Spanish. ¿Dónde más? At the Spring Spanish YouTube channel. Where else? Número 2. Number 2. Puedo tener. Puedo tener. This one is like everybody says it. It's super, super cute. But puedo tener, it's like may I have or can I have, and that just doesn't work in Spanish because that's not the words that we would use. We wouldn't say that. Spanish works differently than in English, so saying puedo tener just really, it doesn't work. Instead, we will use something like me das to refer somebody that you're familiar with, or me da, to be more formal, me das or me da. Literally, it will translate as, to me, you give. But you know what we mean? We mean like, can I have or may I have? This is a very common mistake to say things like puedo tener, like direct translating. Everybody does it, don't worry. And the best way to avoid this is by learning by chunks. So a chunk of Spanish would be me da or me das. ¿Me da la cuenta, por favor? Can I have the check, please? Or, ¿me das tu número de teléfono, por favor? Can I have your number, please? You see, we're using this chunk of Spanish, so you don't really have to memorize or understand what me means or what da means. You just learn me da. We use this technique, it's called conversation-based chunking, at the Spring Spanish Academy. You can learn all about it at the free Spanish training that we have in the description or in the screen somewhere. Yeah, there. Anyway, let's move on. Number 3. Saying caliente when you want to say hot. This is typical. There is like this gorgeous creature, and like in the minds of the gringos, they go like, ooh, caliente, caliente, when they want to say, that somebody is hot or attractive. But in Spanish, we don't really use the word caliente to describe attractiveness. If you want to be colloquial, you can say that a woman está buena or a man está bueno. And, this means that they're really hot. And, ojo, attention. Estar bueno and ser bueno are completely different things. If you say that somebody está bueno or está buenísimo, like very, very hot, that's what you're saying, that they're very, very hot. If you say that somebody es bueno, you're talking about how great of a person they are. And yeah, before we move on to the next one, let me tell you this. You can say that somebody está caliente, oh, está caliente. But that means that they're running a fever, or that also, evokes a certain innuendo like está caliente. Yeah, but I don't want to talk about that. Number 4. mixing up por and para. This one is really difficult. Don't worry if you don't get it right all the times. At worst, you're going to sound like super cute cuando confundas, when you mix up por and para. So don't worry. What you can do is check out Mariana's video about it. She made an amazing one here on the Spring Spanish YouTube channel, of course. Check it out, you'll learn everything. On this occasion, I'm just gonna tell you one time where you might think that you need a por or para, but you don't need it at all right? And that is with the verb buscar, to look for. So in español, we don't look for things, okay? We just las buscamos, we just look for them, but we don't use for, we don't use that preposition. So to say I'm looking for the keys, don't say estoy buscando por las llaves or estoy buscando para las llaves. It's just estoy buscando las llaves. Estoy buscando las llaves. I'm looking for the keys. Número 5. Number 5. Not taking advantage of dichos and refranes. So, like I've mentioned, at the Spring Spanish Academy, we take advantage of learning by chunks. You know, these prefabricated phrases that become second nature to you once you hang out with them a couple times. And there's no better prefabricated phrase than a dicho or refrán, a saying or a proverb. Dichos and refranes allow you to convey all of those like super complicated emotions or opinions that you might have without aprender un montón de vocabulario y de gramática, a lot of vocabulary and grammar. And tienen el beneficio adicional, they have the additional benefit of making you communicate with a local in the right cultural key. And that's kind of like something that we aspire to, right? So learn them and eliminate any trace of gringo from your español. Let's learn 3. Al mal paso, darle prisa. Al mal paso, darle prisa. Which will be something like, it's better to be done and get it over? Yeah, you know, like, let's do it now. It's better to do it now than later. And the other one, salió más caro el caldo que las albóndigas. Salió más caro el caldo que las albóndigas. The equivalent would be something like, the cure was worse than the disease, but I love it. I love this phrase. It literally translates as, the broth ended up being more expensive than the meatballs. Come on, that's super cute. Or what about this one? Donde hubo fuego, cenizas quedan. Donde hubo fuego, cenizas quedan. Where there was fire, ashes remain. And we use this, you know, when you're talking about like a former flame of yours, like, hey, Paulísima, guess what happened? I saw my ex yesterday. Ayer vi a mi ex y fue rarísimo. I saw my ex yesterday and it was really weird. And I will say something like, donde hubo fuego, cenizas quedan. Muy bien, so now you know the top 5 mistakes that are keeping your español in the gringo zone, and additionally you learned 3 sayings that have quite the opposite effect. If you want to keep learning and improving your Spanish, make sure you check out the free Spanish training that we have for you right there. Follow that link and it will take you to this free Spanish training where you will learn about the method that we use at Spring Spanish Academy to teach our students to be fluent in Spanish. You can also get some free Spanish sample lessons that come directly from the Spring Spanish Academy. This was Paulísima y fue un placer estar con ustedes. Hasta la próxima.
Remember to subscribe to the Spring Spanish YouTube channel, like this video and share it with anyone interested in learning Spanish for good.